Second take on this video. Bear with me tonight, folks. I'm a little bit sleepy. Didn't get enough sleep last night. I was sitting on a bench this afternoon meditating, and I actually fell asleep. Caught myself falling asleep a couple of times. I'll flunk a Zen Buddhist class big time. Let's get to the record at number 8 on my fantasy playlist of October 1st, 1995. God, I adored this record. Love this record. It was one of the coolest records I've ever heard. Jill Sobule, Supermodel. Guess where I heard this record at? I didn't see the video on MTV. And none of the radio stations were playing it. Music. Heard it on Music. Their top 40 outlet. Hitline. They play the heck out of this record. Summer or fall of 1995. Jill Sobule. She's so cute. She's so just cute. And she came out with this record in 1994 called I Kissed a Girl. And it's about a relationship between two girls, a flirtatious affair. But Jill Sobule, she approached this, a controversial subject, particularly back then, with such a sense of humor, kind of a light-hearted touch to soften the blow, if you will. And it got played on some of the radio stations, and it was a funny video. And it's a brilliant record. I love that record. And Supermodel, she cleaned it up, boy, big time. Jill Sobule, she gorged out some deep grooves on that guitar, gorging out some great rhythms. It was a hard rocking record, had a great melody to it, and she sang with conviction, with wit and sarcasm at the same time. I love this lyric. Let me see if I can find this lyric. It was on, this is a lyric. I can still hear it on Music. 22 years later, I can hear this lyric. I didn't eat yesterday, and I'm not going to eat today, and I'm not going to eat tomorrow, because I won't be a supermodel. There you go, a clarion call of sorts. Jill Sobule. Her first album, well, some of her stuff was autobiographical. That's pretty obvious. And songs dealing with her Jewish heritage. And she also did some songs about her past, her teenage years, grappling with anorexia and depression. This song, though, Supermodel, was from a movie called Clueless. I miss Clueless. I should have watched the movie. Starred Alicia Silverstone and Brittany Murphy. The movie did very well. Did pretty well. It sold. The gross in the U.S. was $56 million. That's here in the States. Around the world, it's probably a bit higher than that. It's from that movie. And the first album that Jill Sobule put out, it was called Things Here Are Different. Guess who produced that album? Todd Rundgren. And it sank without a trace. Her second album was produced by Joe Jackson, the guy who did Is She Really Going Out With Him? Remember that from '79 and Stepping Out back in 1982? He did a great song in 1991 called, I believe it was called 19 Forever or something like that, Joe Jackson. Well, he was working on her second album. She opened for him, and the record company dropped her. The second album was never released. This was in 1991. Then she came out with her self-titled album, another record company in 1994, 1995, self-titled Jill Sobule. I Kissed a Girl was on that record, on that album. You might remember Fabio made an appearance in the video to I Kissed a Girl. And she kind of got lumped in with Lisa Loeb, Juliana Hatfield, Universal Heartbeat. Remember that? Anybody remember Juliana Hatfield? She came out with a book, a biography years ago, about 12 years ago, I think, 10 years ago. My Sister and Spin the Bottle. Yes, Spin the Bottle. Lovely record. Juliana Hatfield. And lumped in with Alanis Morissette, who blew up with Jagged Little Pill in 1995. And Supermodel, well, amazing record. That's all I gotta say. She came out with another album. She came out with about, I don't know, 7, 8 albums. Her follow-up album was Happy Town. Didn't do as well, though, in 1997, though I read it was an ambitious project for Jill Sobule. But she'll probably be best known for I Kissed a Girl and Supermodel. And by the way, I want to read you a quote by Jill Sobule. You're probably wondering, you probably remember that Katy Perry. Katy Perry came out with a song called I Kissed a Girl. Different song, same title. Here's what Jill Sobule had to say about it, because people were asking Jill Sobule how she felt about Katy Perry having a hit with a song title that was similar, that was very similar to the one that Jill Sobule used. I don't know if I could find it though. Here it is. This is a quote from Jill Sobule about Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl. As a musician, quote begins, I have always refrained from criticizing another artist. I was, well, good for her. It did bug me a little bit, however, when she said she came up with the idea for the title in a dream. I Kissed a Girl. In truth, she wrote it with a team of professional writers and was signed by the very same guy that signed me in 1995. I have not mentioned that in interviews as I don't want to sound bitter or petty. Okay, maybe if I really think about it, there were a few jealous and pissed off moments. And she really goes off a little bit, so I won't quote unquote. I'll just leave it at that. But it does bring back some memories, this record. One of my favorite records back in the fall of '95. Supermodel, Jill Sobule at number 8 on my fantasy playlist, October 1st, 1995.